anxiety disorder. And if I remember well, in my last video, I talked about, or we started talking about types of anxiety disorders. And one of them is separation anxiety disorder, which I talked about it in my previous video. And the bottom line of separation anxiety disorder is attachment. And we said that a person that suffers from this disorder fears or feels anxious about losing or separating or being separated from the things that they are attached to. And these things can include even people they're attached to, or a profession that one is attached to, or a property that a person is attached to. And therefore this person is overwhelmed by fear and anxious, or becomes anxious of losing the things that they are attached to. So if you did not watch that video, please go back to my previous video and you'll be able to watch and listen to what separation anxiety disorder is all about. Today I want to move to the second type of anxiety disorder, and today I'll talk about social anxiety disorder. When you talk about social anxiety disorder, which is also called social phobia, we are talking about a person that fears or dreads or is anxious about participating in a social situation or being part of a social gathering, or presenting something to many people, maybe standing in front and presenting something to many people. So this person is anxious about that. This person is fearful, is afraid to participate in a social situation or a social gathering. And usually this person, before even the event comes, or maybe that celebration comes, if it's a party or maybe a football match, people are going to watch a football match, or it's a meeting, or this person is supposed to present in a seminar. So this person begins thinking about, how will I present whatever I have? How should I interact in this situation? Or how will I answer people the questions that they will be asking? Even before people ask questions, already this person anticipates that people will ask questions. So she begins to think about the questions that will be asked and how he or she will answer those questions. Therefore, this one makes this person anxious, this person afraid, dread these situations. I don't mean that sometimes feeling nervous or feeling a little bit tense, or feeling like butterflies in your stomach when you are talking to a large crowd is abnormal. But what I mean is that when we talk about a social anxiety disorder, these things overwhelms you, that this person becomes anxious to the extent that this anxiety affects the life of this person. So this person's life is affected because of being afraid and being anxious and being afraid and fearing to be in a large crowd, and therefore it becomes a hindrance in a person's life. So that fear, that anxiousness, that dreading becomes a problem to the life of this person, and hence affecting his relationship. Because if you cannot socialize with people, if you cannot meet people, you cannot go where people are, then your relationships are affected. You not have friends, because how will you make friends when you cannot go out to meet people? You cannot even take out your family because you fear to go where other people are, and therefore it affects the relationship of this person. It also affects if he or she is a student, it will affect somebody's education, because if you're not free to mingle, free to interact with other students, to interact with the professor, then it affects you negatively in your education. You'll be affected negatively. It will also affect you at your workplace, or at your workplace, because usually we work, most of the jobs we do is we work with people, we work in teams, and therefore if you have that disorder, then it will be hard to work even in a team. So it affects your job, it affects your profession, it affects all sectors of your life get affected by this anxiety disorder, this social anxiety disorder. Then what are the symptoms of social anxiety disorder? I want to give just a few. I know there are a lot, but just to compress it in this video, I just give us a few. One of the symptoms is that a person fears of a situation that may be or may make people to judge him or her negatively. For example, if I'm going to give a presentation in a crowd, or in a big crowd, so somebody who is anxious, has social anxiety disorder, will fear about how will people judge me after I do this presentation. How will people look at me? So he feels that maybe people will judge him or her negatively, and therefore he becomes anxious, he becomes afraid, he becomes tensed and not ready to present. Another symptom is this person worries about embarrassing or humiliating him or herself. That when I go to a party, I might humiliate myself. I will embarrass myself. I don't know how I'll conduct myself. I don't know how I will talk to people. I don't know how people will talk to me. So I might embarrass myself. And then the third symptom is that this person will have what we call an intense fear of interacting and talking to strangers. So this person fears, if I go to the party, I know that I don't know everybody there, therefore I'll meet strangers, and how will I talk to a stranger? How will I start a conversation with somebody that I don't know? And therefore they fear about that. Another symptom is that this person fears that other people will notice that he or she is anxious. So he says, if I go to the public out there, to a social gathering, people will see that I am anxious. They will see me shaking. They'll see me having sweating. They'll see me not able to verbalize my words. I'll not be able to be calm and still, and therefore they fear to go out there because people might notice that they are anxious. Again, another symptom is that symptom is blushing. So this person, when he or she is in a larger group, he will blush. His heartbeat will increase, so they have what we call fast heartbeat. The heart increases its beating. Trembling when they are in a big gathering. Sweating, I think I talked about that. An upset stomach or nausea. Trouble to catch up breath or breathing. This person might also feel dizziness or lightheadedness. Feeling that your mind has gone blank. Maybe somebody asks you a question, but you cannot think about that question. You cannot bring back that thing that you want to talk about. So your mind is like it's black. It is blank, without anything. And also there can be what we call muscle tension. So this person cannot stand steadily in front there and give a presentation or give a performance or even talk to people. He cannot stand to talk about something because of that anxiousness, that fear, that anxiety that is in this person. Therefore, the problem is a social gathering. The problem is where many people are, and therefore they cannot be very comfortable being in a gathering, being in a place where there are many people, and therefore they'll tend to, or they will want just to be alone many times, to stay at home, to be within their own comforts where they don't interact, they don't meet people, they don't want where people will see them and maybe try to interact with them or try to initiate a conversation with them. So they want to separate themselves from people. What are some of the causes of social anxiety disorder? We have a lot of them, a lot of causes, but I want just to mention but a few. One, the first one is family history. It's believed that social anxiety follows family, that if a member of the family, for example, the grandfather or those great-great-grandfathers had this condition, then it can be passed to the children and to the children's children, and then it's something that can follow the bloodstream. That's why you find some people say that in our family we don't speak in public. We don't like interacting. My grandfather didn't like going to parties, didn't like maybe going to ball games, didn't like going to camps. So it might come through the family history or the family line. The other cause can be the negative experiences. For example, when a child is in school and then he or she goes through bullying at school or teasing or feels rejected or ridiculed or humiliated. So those can also be causes of social anxiety disorder. Somebody loses interest of being where other people are because of what this person went through when he or she was growing up. Also, family conflicts can be a reason to why children becomes affected to the extent of getting this social anxiety disorder. Because if they grow in a family whereby parents are always fighting or brothers are fighting, then that thing goes into them. It brings fear in them, and therefore they cannot be free to interact with other people outside there. Or if somebody experienced trauma in life, if it's a girl that maybe was abused when she was young or went through difficulties when she was young, then this also is believed to be something that can cause the social anxiety disorder. This person will not be free to be in public, free to be in a social gathering. She will be traumatized thinking about whatever happened to them. Another reason is temperament. And when we talk about temperament, we're talking about this person might be shy, timid, withdrawn from other people. Then this person experiences all that: shyness, timidness, or timidity, withdraw from people, or restrained when feeling new situations, when maybe meeting new people or going to a new place, or so this person becomes shy and afraid of that situation. And then Another reason might be new social or work demands. That is, when this person is going to a new place, getting a new job, or is forced to go to a place that is new, then that might also cause social anxiety disorder. And because this person is meeting new people, or maybe this person will be required to give a speech in public or make a presentation, which will trigger the social anxiety disorder, because already there's that fear, there's that anxiousness, and therefore when somebody stands to talk to people, then it triggers the social anxiety disorder. What are the complications that might be brought by social anxiety disorder? I'll just mention but a few in passing. First, when somebody has this social anxiety disorder because this person avoids a gathering, avoids social meetings, avoids crowds, avoids other people, then this person may develop what we call low self-esteem. This person will not be confident on themselves. They cannot stand by themselves and do anything because they don't believe in themselves. So their self-esteem is lowered. They are not confident about themselves. They don't even believe on themselves. Two, these persons will have trouble with being assertive. This person cannot stand up and talk or speak out their mind and be firm on their stance. They cannot say whatever is in them. They'll fear, they will not be open. That's why somebody is saying yes, but he or she was supposed to say no, or saying no in something that they were supposed to say yes. So they are not firm. They don't have that assertiveness. They cannot stand by themselves and explain what they want. There will also be negative self-talk. Somebody will be talking negative about themselves. I'm not able to do it. I'm not able to talk to people. I'm not able to present. I'm not able to be in a group. I'm not able to participate in games. I'm not able to participate in choir. I'm not able to do this. So there's that negative talk, self-talk. And then another one, another thing that can be caused by social anxiety disorder is poor social skills. This person will not be able to socialize because she or he doesn't want to go out. He's not meeting people, and therefore it's so hard for him to learn skills of how to socialize, how to be in a group, how to be in a team, how to work as a team. And many times he wants just to be alone, and therefore no social skills or poor social skills. And just to remind us what I had already said, this person will have difficulties in social relationships. There will be a problem in his or her relationships because he's not going out. He cannot take the children out. He cannot take the wife or the husband out, and therefore he will just, or she will just be alone and withdrawn, just alone by herself. There will be what we call low academic performance. This person, if he's a student, will not be able to perform well at school. Low employment achievement, will not be able to do good at work because no socializing, no teamwork, no working together. And sometimes these people will decide to use to abuse or substance abuse, to use drugs, because I fear to go out there. Let me take this, maybe drink alcohol, become an alcoholic, or become addicted to drugs, because once I take alcohol, this drug, I get confidence to face people, and therefore that becomes a problem. And at the end of it all, if this will not be prevented or treated, then this person might commit suicide or might attempt to commit suicide, because when you are alone, you don't share your problems, you don't interact, you don't enjoy yourself, you don't open up to other people, then there's a highest chance of this person starting thinking about killing themselves. Therefore, I want to stop there. Today, it's not a good note, but I want to stop there by saying that social anxiety disorder is something that has affected many people. We have people who cannot go out there, they cannot party, they cannot interact, they cannot meet new people, they cannot share whatever they have. They're just down there by themselves, they're just separated, they're just far from other people. And this becomes a problem. It affects the whole life of a person. It affects his own life, his family, his workplace, his job, and everything. Every part of his life is affected, because as human beings, we were created as social beings. We are supposed to socialize. We are supposed to go out there and meet people. We are supposed to work as a team and to work together. And therefore, if that is withdrawn from us, then it leaves a vacuum. It leaves an opening. It leaves problem to us. And then that problem, if not intervened, then it takes us to a bad place. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation today. I will continue with the other type of social anxiety in my next video. And many people are asking, what is the solution out? What is the remedy? How do we come out of this? Just stay put. Just continue watching these videos. At the end of it all, we'll try to get to a place where we'll talk about how do we overcome these challenges? How do we overcome this social anxiety disorder? How do we overcome the separation anxiety disorder? Therefore, stay put, continue watching, and then we'll get all that. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one.